Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tirra-Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is February the 21st, I think it is. And I hope that all is going well with you all. You know, we're in we're in the retrograde shadow period. The sun is in Pisces along with Mercury. So this is a spiritual time. This is a time where we may be feeling like we need to relax more. We want to be in isolation. It will be a time where we can really use our imagination to create more of what we want in life. And so, you know, this is also a time to sort of be careful of getting lost in our thoughts or being conned and swindled, having malfunctions with technology, as well as running late and different things like that. So we're in the shadow period, which means we're not in the retrograde. It's the path that the retrograde is going to cover. So just pay attention to what's going on right now, because it's giving you information on what you're going to need to be looking at during retrograde. Let's do this with awareness. And guess what awareness is? It's one of the keys to self-mastery. And so I will just use that to segue into what I want to talk about today. This thought actually came to me last week that I need to remind you. I've shared this before. This is not anything new. It is about rituals. So I remember years ago, the mothers telling me, do not cry, don't whine, don't complain. To us, if you're not doing your rituals day in and day out, doing our rituals cannot be overstated. I think that when we think about wanting to make inroads in our lives, wanting to make progress on the things that we have, the intentions and the goals that we've set out on, if we neglect our daily rituals, and when I say our daily rituals, I'm talking about spiritual practices, it can almost be assured that we are going to fall into disarray. And I am one who believes everyone needs to set their own rituals. I'm not trying to tell you what rituals to do. I'm just saying it behooves you. And if you already know what your rituals are and you're not doing them, then, you know, I'm just telling you, you're far ahead, because at least you know what you're supposed to do. But last week I remember thinking, you know, sometimes we wake up and we just feel like, I don't feel like doing this, you know. It really feels like I just would prefer to do something else. I remember having that feeling last week, like, and it was just one day, because let me tell you something, I don't play around with rituals. I just remember feeling like I would prefer, let's say, to dance. I just want to get up and I want to dance and just get started with my day. You know, maybe I got started late with my, you know, I sort of waited later than what I usually do, and just was like ready to move forward. And I said, have you lost your everlasting mind? You know you better get your butt in there and do them doggone rituals. And what made me say, and I was going to record this last week and I didn't, but what made me think this today is, again, a story that I have shared with you all before, is that I poured libations to my ancestors for easily a decade. I started pouring libations after my mother passed, and so that was in 97. And I remember one day pouring libations about 10 years after that, and I felt the presence of the ancestors open up. It was like my lips went tingly, and I was like, no, seriously, the ancestors are here. They probably always were there, but I didn't see, sense, or feel their presence. But they showed up in a way that day, and basically what they said was, you are worthy to know us in this way. because you have poured your libations for 10 years. You have talked to us. You have fed us. And there's always been signs for me. I mean, even before I knew Ifa, before my mother died, all that, I always had this knowledge of the ancestors. But that day, that was like a whole shift in my relationship with the ancestors. And when they made themselves known in that way, it was me going to a new level of working with them. There were new things that they started revealing to me and new ways of me operating with the ancestors. And so this morning, I was thinking about a friend. In my opinion, that scorpionic energy at the end of last year was rough, or maybe it was all throughout the year. But as it got closer to the end of the year, I just was like, oh my God, this is really, really challenging, because there were several people who lost children that I know personally last year. And there's one in particular that lost a son to a murder, 17 years old, and she is just really struggling. Well, she's been posting these pictures of Cardinals. That's her sign that her son is, giving her messages through Cardinals. And so it made me start noticing Cardinals a little bit more, which I see Cardinals all the time. But, I look at them and I'm like, oh, okay, I know that one's male because it's so colorful, and that one's a female because it's not super colorful or whatever, But, and I love birds, they're related to, these feminine energies known in Ifa as the Iyami. And so I love birds. I really do. Hadn't thought too much about it until she started mentioning these cardinals. And now when I see the cardinal, I think of her son, Stevie. I even see young men. I don't even know this kid. Never met him a day in my life. I just know his mom through Zumba. She's a trainer. But I see young men who look like him. He's tall and he's African American, and his skin is very fair complected, but he had this high top fade. I'm like seeing young men that look like this all the time now, right? And some of it is because I know to a certain degree, maybe Stevie's actually speaking to me, and I even decided I need to tell my friend I'm seeing cardinals. There was a cardinal that landed in the tree in my front yard. Beautiful cardinal, and it was eating out of our bird feeder. And I sent her the picture, and I've been wanting to tell her, about just know whatever you feel like you hearing from him, you're hearing from him. Don't let people tell you you're not hearing from your child. I just wanted to kind of go a little deeper with her. So this day I did. She was so appreciative. She was like, I didn't sleep last night, and Stevie came to you and had you send me this message and all that kind of good stuff. That was a few days ago. I haven't seen that cardinal since. Hadn't been thinking about the cardinal. Opened my door up this morning. I see the cardinal. And I sent her a picture. She was like, yeah, any messages you get, please give me the messages. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give her the message. I don't even know what I'm going to say other than I took a picture of the cardinal and just was going to say Stevie has shown up. And it makes me kind of scared because, I don't know what it's like to live with a child. I really don't even want to know that. I don't want to be setting people off or whatever. But she told me, if you hear something, let me know. So I was like, okay, I'm going to send her this picture. And I said, another message from Stevie. And I heard say this: the color of the cardinal, it represents the love that Stevie has for you. That just did something to me. I had no idea I was going to say that, And it just, the way I feel thinking about the pain that this woman has got to be in, and these other people have lost their children. It overwhelmed me. And it sometimes, for those of you out there who are very sensitive like me and called to do healing work, it makes us almost say, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this, because Empaths know what I'm talking about. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And the mother said to me, do your spiritual practice. Because I said to him, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this because I feel people's stuff so much. I don't know if I can do this. And they said, your spiritual practices. This is what will shore you up to be able to do this kind of work for people, being as sensitive as you are. So our strength is in our rituals, y'all. Don't sleep. Don't sleep on your rituals. Your ego would have you to believe that they're a waste of time, that they're not working. But look at your life without your rituals. So it's time for us to stop playing. It's time for us to take back our power. And we take back our power through action in our own lives. We take back our power by doing what we know we need to do. Why do we keep sabotaging ourselves? Y'all do your rituals. And I've shared this story too. I used to listen to this man named John Morton. And his people would say to him, I don't know if this is working. He said, fine, don't do your rituals for 6 months and come back and tell me, how's your life? Inevitably, they would all come back and say, I'm not doing my rituals and my life is in shambles. He would say, okay, go back to doing your daily rituals and then come back and tell me how your life is. And inevitably, they all would come back saying it's so much better. Rituals don't erase the challenges that we meet, but they help us to be able to navigate them so much better. Sometimes we can't see the path before us, but the rituals will show us the next step that we are to take. We may not be able to see the whole path, but if we can just see that next step to take, the rituals clear away the clouds that prevent us from being able to see the next thing to do. The rituals clear away our inability to see what the problem is. Some of us can't even see what the problem is. Rituals will help us to be able to do that. Rituals will equip us with the tools because we have the tools within us. But if you ain't ready, you won't be able to access that tool. Rituals help us to be able to go deeper. You know, I don't think that I've been able to actually launch that inner circle until I was doing my rituals every day, day in and day out. It takes so much spiritual focus and energy to create a lot of readings, which I'm doing way more than I had been doing before I launched the inner circle, because, you know, I'm doing a weekly reading and I'm doing a monthly reading. And for those who are in my spiritual coaching practice, I'm doing individual readings for them. It takes endurance. It's a spiritual endurance. And it takes me doing my rituals in order for me to be able to trust that what I'm hearing for me to share is actually what I'm supposed to share. This does not come to me. I mean, no, it does not. I was going to say, to a certain degree, I am the type of person, because of my gift, where I can get spiritual insight easily. More easily, I'll say, than most people. But I know what it's like when I'm very distracted in life and I'm not doing my rituals like I should. I cannot access that energy. I mean, the wisdom easily. It's like I'm locked. I just can't open. I can't open my mind to hear what I'm supposed to say. I can't feel it in my body. And, you know, it takes me doing all this work to be able to hear it. So for those who want to go deeper in your gift, even if your gift isn't divination, even if you don't perceive your gift to be spiritual in nature, if you want to be able to go deeper into that gift, I am telling you right now, you've got to have your daily spiritual practices. Do not sleep on the daily spiritual practices. Please allow yourself to break free of mediocrity. Allow yourself to open to more of the truth of who and what you are by doing your daily spiritual practices. You are worth it, and they will truly bring you, my godfather, Babaji Kolioso, he said rituals make you almost feel like you don't need a vacation. A lot of times when people take a vacation, they're trying to get away and get renewed. When you do your daily rituals, they renew you day in and day out. Talk about a daily renewal. And I am telling you, you don't even have to do anything major. You don't have to do anything big. But if you do rituals that are meaningful for you, daily renewal, and you have to do the rituals even when you feel like, I really don't want to do this right now. Because your ego will do whatever it can. And if it gets you to do that enough days in a row, then your new habit will be starting your day just as is. So y'all, just wanted to share that. Hope that this helps you. Just please let me know your thoughts, how things going with your daily rituals, where your challenges with your rituals. Please like the video, share the video. Know that you can get a reading with me if you want. I offer several different kinds, and I try to make them affordable at goddessbodymindspirit.com. And please feel free to join me in the Inner Circle, Patreon. That's patreon.com/goddessbodymindspirit. At that Patreon Inner Circle, I share things there that I don't put anyplace else, actually. But there are people out there who are like, girl, come on, let's do this thing together. Let's help me out. All right. So I'm here for you all. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Wishing y'all a wonderful day. Peace.